NFTs, non-fungible tokens in a big bubble. Hey gang, this is Mike with MrNoFluff.com, and before I start, I'd like to remind you that you're more braver than you believe. You're stronger than you seem. You're smarter than you think, and twice as beautiful as you ever imagined. Romy. Champ. So today we're going to be talking about NFTs and why I believe they're in such a big bubble. But I like to explain what are NFTs, non-fungible tokens. It's kind of like, for example, real estate. Real estate is the fungibility of it, the ability to liquidate it is less fungible, is less liquidable than, for example, cash. Cash is the most liquidable thing. So, for example, if you can imagine Bitcoin is like very, very liquidable. You can instantly sell your positioning. But real estate, you can still sell it, but you have to hire inspectors, you have to hire agents, you have to go to the title company, it takes weeks, banks, etc. So it's not very fungible as compared to liquid cash. So non-fungible tokens basically means that they represent an asset. It can be digitally, in this case, they're digital assets that are not easily liquidable, okay? And today I want to talk about something that I talked about in my students in my profit sharing, okay? So if you're interested in that, come to MrNoFluff.com, click on coaching to get access to the profit sharing. And I talked about Decentraland, okay? And Decentraland is a non-fungible token. Now, let me give you some examples of non-fungible tokens. For example, a non-fungible token could be for a sword in a video game. To me, that sounds pretty ridiculous. To some other people, it may sound ridiculous, but to some people, that has a lot of value. And, maybe this sword, when you have it, you can, multiplay and kill everybody with it. And so someone will buy that sword, and the way they transfer it is through non-fungible tokens, okay? Which says, like, I own this underlying asset, which in this case is a digital, graphical, programmable sword, right? And the reason it's non-fungible because, not everyone's going to want that, but there are people that are going to want to buy and resell this sword to use or to make profits or whatever they feel like. Another one is arts, okay? Like, for example, arts, which, again, I'm not a big fan of that, nor am I, I see the video game more of value than arts, but again, I'm not an artsy guy. But one thing that I thought, a while back, which I shared to my students in my profit sharing and my students in my academy, my 2.0 academy. Let me talk about that real quick. So if you're interested in flipping houses, if you're interested in buying houses subject to wholesaling, then you should definitely join my academy, where I give you my flipping houses course plus my subject to course, plus we do coaching, and you also get one-on-one consulting with me, all for a very, very economic price, okay? So anyways, let's go back to the Decentraland. In October 2020, somewhere around here, which is right around 7 cents, I told my students that, hey, I'm buying Decentraland. Now, I've already owned Decentraland back in 2018, okay? But at that time, it was like roughly like a penny or something, okay? And, it pumped up in the last cycle of the cryptocurrency rush. All right. However, it came crashing down to just a couple of pennies, guys. Okay, Decentraland. Now, this is one of my favorite, NFTs. But before I get into it, I'd like to explain to you guys, like, when it was roughly in October, when it was like roughly around 7 cents before this pump, I got into it and I disclosed to my students my playbook. Now, not financial advice. I'm not trying to tell you what you should do. This is just what I'm doing with my own money. I'm not a CPA. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just actually a refugee that came to America, and with $100 living out of my car, I was lucky enough to turn into 3 businesses. But I was tired of elimination. I was depressed, so I give most of my stuff to the homeless, donate to the homeless, and went homeless myself. So I'm not trying to tell you what to do. I'm just telling you what I'm doing. Okay, cryptocurrency is extremely risky. Any kind of investment is extremely risky, but I like to still do it. Okay, now why do I like Decentraland? Is because it represents real estate. Okay, what I did is I bought these coins called Mono. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing it right. And with this, I was able to buy plots, right? Plots of land in Decentraland, okay? And in Decentraland is a virtual reality where I can create whatever I want. If I want to create a mall, I can create a hotel, I can create, places where people can come out and play video games or whatever I can imagine, right? I mean, it's whatever my imagination allows me, okay? So I have the ability to, buy the coins, mana, and just hold on to them and then flip them down the line. Or I have the ability to get the monos and then buy plots in the virtual world and build something and then charge a fee for people to come in, right? They got to pay me money in mono. So I have the ability to do both. But I like this idea versus, NFTs for arts because, as the world's going more and more, isolation where people are staying home and working, things of that nature, as the internet is growing, I see more of a real world application with Decentraland. Because, for example, for me, I can create my own university in Decentraland and, put seminars in, and everyone comes into this virtual world and learns, flipping houses, or watches me to do a deal, or watches me to do X or Y, whatever, and they learn from that, just like a university, like going to a university, but all through a digital world. Okay, so I got it. So again, I got into it back in the last cycle, but in 2020, right around October, which is right here, October 30th, somewhere around there, I got into it again at a larger value, and I told my students in my profit sharing. So if you're not in my profit sharing, you're not in my academy, I highly recommend joining these programs where I work one-on-one with you to help you be your dreams in America. It doesn't matter if you're a real estate investor, if you are an entrepreneur, or if you're a crypto investor or gold or silver investor. Okay, so the thing is now, I've made massive gains from this, from buying it for 7 cents. Today it's 57 cents. But I thought that, cryptos, NFTs are in a big bubble. So are crypto. So is real estate. So is the stock market. Everything I believe is in a really, really, really dangerous zones. But that said, I was able to, sell my positioning and get out of it. I wouldn't buy it at this price myself because I believe we're in a very high bubble, but I think it's a very cool project that I'm willing to rebuy into it when the market crashes again, guys. Now, does it have more room to the upside? I don't have a crystal ball, but I think, the way they're printing money, all these assets are going to go up in price, from stocks to real estate to cars. That's what they're doing. They're inflating asset bubbles. So, but interesting enough that if you would have been able to see my playbook if you were in my academy or my profit sharing when I got into it when it was roughly around 7 cents. Today it's 57 cents, which is, man, big percentages, guys. You know what I'm saying? Like big percentages. You would have not 100, 200, 300, 400, etc. percent more, right? You can see year to date is 1,500%. Okay, if you just go in 1 month, you're 139%. So this is why I like cryptocurrencies. They are highly risky, but they're also great way for me to make money. And again, I'm not talking about you, but for me, okay, great to make my money back. Like I said, I donate most of my stuff to the homeless. Now I have 2 kids and a wife, and I'm just starting all over. So I'm happy to be able to take the risk, to take the biscuit. I'm sharing with you my successes, and I'll also share with you my failures, which I said, I've given away, millions of dollars in company and real estate, and did what Buddha and Christ did, which is to go homeless, guys, and get the meaning of what the meaning of life is. Okay, and so glad to help you guys explain to you what's happening. So I'm pretty excited about NFTs, but I think they're in high bubbles. I'm pretty excited about Bitcoin. I think that's going to be the future of cryptocurrency. And I'm not buying myself at these numbers, but I'm going to wait for the market to crash and then pick up Bitcoin at that time, just like at the last cycle. All right, gang, thanks for watching. If you could click the like button, it does help out the algorithm. Let me know what you had for lunch below or what your thoughts are. Thanks for watching. Peace.